Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim the Fuzzy, and welcome to Sid Meier's Civilization 5, Brave New World. This is going to be the start of a series in which I play both Civilization 5 and Civilization 6, side by side, essentially, recording a couple episodes of each, then switching to the other, and alternate between which one shows up for each week, or for each day of the week. And I will be comparing the mechanics and how the game is balanced, what the design is, some of the implications of the design and what's going on there, and in the meantime, actually playing the game and going down the same victory path. So, with that, go to the setup map. As you can see, there is a lot more in the way of civilization options here, but I am going to go... But that's also because this game has had a whole lot more DLC created for it. It was also out a whole lot longer. So, it's to be expected that it has more content. I have no doubt that Civilization 6 will get up to this level. Now, I'm going to be playing on a large map. I'm going to delete the two people there and increase the amount of city-states to 24. This is one thing you could not do in Civilization 6, which was adjust the city-states independent of the map size, which is nice. Difficulty level is going to go up to Prince. I'm going to turn off the time victory, and I'm going to take resources to abundant. Apart from that, that should be everything the same as Civilization 6 has. One thing I would like to note is where is it? Continents plus map type. What this does is it gives you chains of islands that have a tendency to create shallow water connecting the different continents, and it also puts the city-states out on those island chains, typically. The net effect is that it favors those who start on the coast, and it also makes it less likely that city-states will be taken in war, because the AI is not very good at doing war in this game, and naval invasions are completely not something it can do. So now we get started.
All hail his most respected and magnanimous Emperor, Pedro II of Brazil. It was with great insight and unshakable dignity that you ruled the Brazilian Empire for over 50 years, ushering in a time of lasting peace and prosperity. Your reputation as a stern but fair leader was never blemished by controversy, as your unwavering dedication to the people of Brazil provided hope and established the kingdom's position in South America. Your scholarly pursuits and staunch defense of freedom of speech led to the creation of several institutions of higher learning, strengthening Brazil's sense of national identity. Revered Emperor Pedro, your people long for a return to the peaceful days when you walked among them, hearing their stories and reassuring them of a bright future. Will you once again lead your kingdom to prosperity? Can you build a civilization that stands the test of time?
Alright, and now with this, we're getting started. It does show us the special abilities here, which I did not mention earlier. Brazil gets the Carnival, which increases it replaces our Golden Age, essentially. And Golden Age is our concept I'll get to. Tourism output is doubled during Golden Ages, and we get great people, artists, musicians, and writers 50% faster during Golden Ages. This makes Brazil quite obviously a cultural victory civilization. You also get the this unit here, which I am told is pronounced Praxina. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what I've been told. And it replaces the infantry unit, so really late game, but it also gives you points towards a Golden Age every time it defeats an enemy. Which, again, feeds into the Carnival, which increases tourism, and also the Brazil Wood Camp, which provides you gold, and later on in the game it provides culture. It can only be built on jungles. So, with that, we begin. Now, the first major difference, apart from me now starting next...
This is a good place to found a city.
Consider sending your warrior out.
Okay then, tutorial messages. Now, first thing is that this map is a lot bigger than Civilization 6's map. Second thing is movement allows you to move on to any terrain feature regardless of the movement points remaining, thus allowing me to do this with my warrior, when in Civilization 6 that would have taken me 2 turns. So we have some marsh nearby, some marble, stone, spices, bananas. Bananas are a good bonus resource. Lots of forest, but no jungle. We need to find a jungle nearby. So we'll now found our city. What that does is give us the information bar up here. Here's our list of drop-downs. First thing you'll notice is that we have research info, but we also have things like the unit list, which just gives us all the units we have here in one quick format, and gives us
some information.
And we have access to this military overview screen, which there is no comparison to in Civilization 6. We list progress towards things, and it says great generals are earned based on XP earned by land units in combat. That is true, but only is XP earned in combat when you're at war with another civilization. Barbarians don't count. Also, we have list of cities, and really quick, the nice overview of all our cities right here. Resources, great people. We don't have any resources that we can trade, and we do not have any great people. I tend to keep it on research.
Excuse me.
Go away. Now we need to look at what we're doing for research. One of the obvious things is writing and rushing out the Great Library. This is a lot better in Civilization 5 than it is in Civilization 6. First off, it gives you free technology and a free library, and it also contains 2 slots for great works of writing. Also, one feature of Civilization 5 is that as you progress through eras, your technology in previous eras gets cheaper, in addition to you getting more science. What that means is that if you're not overly worried about your military defense, one thing I have done before, sometimes successfully, is rush theology, and as a result of rushing theology, I am able to get everything in the ancient era very, very cheaply, and a discount on the classical era, which allows me to catch up and pull ahead in terms of science. The downside is that it denies me any military units whatsoever. On the other hand, pottery, shrine, great people, I tend to enjoy having my religion spread around the globe. So, you can go away.
The city screen.
You can go away now, thank you very much. Now, this is also something that does not exist in Civilization 6. What we have here is my city. Click on the city, brings up this screen. It shows me what tile is coming up. I do have to click on the citizen management button to pull up the citizen thing, but once I do that, it will remain until I exit the game. And on top of that, we have production down here, and choose the production.
I have some information.
And I think first thing we're going to do, because we have... Can we quarry stone right now? No, we don't. Well, we can't. Masonry. So... But worker would be good anyway. So... Scout would also be very good. We need a scout because we need to find some jungle, because that is a huge... Without jungle, we are losing out on one of our 3 Civ-specific bonuses.
Excuse.
So, with that said, we should get a scout. And there we go. One thing legendary about Civilization is its turn times. It's not very good with them. So, let's go.
Ancient ruins.
Oh, ancient ruin. Very good. Very useful. Here's some jungle right over here. And some more jungle right here. That is within range. There we go. Grid on. Forgot to turn that on before we started. This is within range of our starting city, so we aren't entirely helpless. And go away. And okay, one thing I learned by poking in this game and testing a lot. Each of these ancient ruins has 3 different things that could be in it. If I was actually good at editing, I could just save scum to figure out what they all are and grab the optimal thing. And I'm not going to do that. However, there is a civilization that one of their Civ-specific bonuses is that they get to actually see those and choose with their scouts. Helpful during the early game, gets them massive boost. And as you can see, 70 gold. One of the, in my opinion, that's one of the worst options there. Alright. So, we do have jungle up here. I don't know how far it goes. We're going to have to find out. You may also wonder, if you've played only Civ 6, why it's not asking me for a culture research. That is because of the culture.
I have some information.
How culture works, and I will get to that as soon as we... Well, how social policies and culture work, and I'm going to get to that as soon as we get to having enough culture. In the meantime, we're going to, I think, come over here. Yes, definitely going north for our next city. Lots of jungle. One of the advantages of jungle, I'm gonna pull this up here, is also, before I go into that, one of the nice things about this research tree, every time a technology has something other than a building or a unit, such as the chariot archer here, this water mill, or if it can provide an upgrade, it gives you road. Like, for example, roads. It tells you right here. We can provide lumber mills right here. If it provides something that is not a unit, an upgrade, or a structure, well, if it upgrades something that exists or provides some special ability, that is marked by a star. And this one allows establishing additional trade route. So trade routes work similar to Civ 6, but are slightly different. And as a result, you know what's where instead of having to mouse over every single tech to find out exactly what it does. And, right, let's talk about one of the advantages of jungle. That is... University. You get +2 science from every jungle tile worked by that city. When we get access to our Brazil wood camps, we get gold. And when we get up to acoustics right here, they start giving us culture. What does that mean? That means we're getting a lot of science, gold, and culture from those camps. And we also... jungle tiles are also worth food. And I am going to turn on the resource icons. And yield icons. Maybe we'll turn off the resource... No, I'll leave them on. This gets a lot of information. I also hide any recommendations the AI has for me. But what that means is we get a lot of food off jungle tiles. We get a lot of culture, we get a lot of science, and we get a lot of gold. The one thing that we lack is production. And production is less important when you can just buy everything. I'm gonna move up here. Okay. It's good. Again, line of sight works like Civilization 6. Not surprising. And here we have a jungle with a hill on it so we can't see past it. Hills elevate us so we can see past non-elevated terrain even if line of sight would normally be blocked. So we can see over the jungle, but because this jungle here on this hill is also elevated, we can't see past it. We'll have to get to that. The warrior's going very slowly up there.
Our capital city.
Thank you. Now, what's the advantage of the scout? Well, this right here ignores terrain cost. It's the same 2 movement points of the warrior, but for the scout, if it increases the cost, like going across a river, walking up a hill... Oh, wrong button. If it increases the cost, going up a river, going over a river, going up a hill, moving in a forest, whatever, he is unaffected by that. He still gets the benefits of walking along roads and other things that speed your movement, but he doesn't suffer the penalties. So, I'm gonna move my warrior back down. And Rio de Janeiro, I'm also going to have it construct a monument now. We have 8 turns for that. Once the monument's done, I'm going to have it build a shrine. Now, one other difference between Civilization 5 and Civilization 6 is that if you look at this, the ignores terrain cost, this is considered a promotion by the game. So, if I upgrade my scout, which I can't normally, but there are some things that will let me do that, like some of those ancient ruins will let me upgrade the scout, or will upgrade without my consent, in the case of anybody but, I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to go look that up after. But, as a result, this will stick around rather than being a feature tied to that specific unit. So as I progress through the technology tree and start upgrading Civ-specific units, they keep that Civ-specific benefit. Unlike, again, Civilization 6. Someone got a Pantheon. They found it in the ancient ruins. Okay, that's not the one I was gonna get. I'm gonna go here. More ancient ruins. Again, from our scout, that would have taken... If our warrior was the one doing that, it would have taken us 2 turns to get here and then 2 more turns to get over here. In Civilization 6, because the scouts get 3 movement instead of 2, it would have again taken us a whole lot more time. the one thing this does is it significantly increases the mobility of units, and thus balances them out a little bit better. You're gonna say, oh, why is that good? Because it means that that there are more units able to go more than one tile per turn than horsemen early on.
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn.
Alright. Well, we now have the ability to create trade routes. We can also see horses, construct pastures, and caravans. So we got some tech off that, and free tech is, well, good. We don't have anywhere to send a caravan, despite the fact that we can build one, so we're not going to build one now. I'm going to move to right here, I think. Coastline, okay. Now, if you've only played, let's go here, and no hill, no hill, no hill. I'm definitely coming up here for my second city. My first one, no, but second one, yes. Okay, mountains, which means warrior goes this way. I am so glad I decided to move them up here instead of going straight down and around. No, I'm not cheating or anything. But with that, we've come to the end of this turn and the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Jimbo the Fuzzy, and I hope to see you again next time.